Stock Android, a clean UI, and a price that starts under 15,000 rupees. If these are your three criteria for your new smartphone, then the Nokia 5.3 might fit the bill. But is it good? We are about to find out in this full review of the Nokia 5.3. Hi, I'm Aditya Shenoy, you're watching Gadgets 360, and before I go ahead, be sure you are subscribed to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and click that bell icon so that you're the first to know when we have a new video. The Nokia 5.3 is made out of plastic. However, it does not feel cheap in any way. It looks as though the phone should be able to take a few knocks and still keep going. I like the big 6.55-inch display on the Nokia 5.3, which is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. It's crisp enough with its HD Plus resolution, though this isn't the highest resolution you'll get at this price point. HMD Global has gone for a 20:9 panel, which is good for viewing videos in landscape mode, but reaching the top of it when using this phone in one hand isn't easy. HMD Global has picked the Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 SoC to power the Nokia 5.3. There are two variants on offer. The base variant comes with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, while the higher one offers 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. I had the 4GB RAM variant for this review. In terms of performance, the Nokia 5.3 handles regular day-to-day usage with ease. Calling, messaging, and social media apps are not an issue, and you can multitask between them quite easily. During my time with the phone, I did not notice any slowdowns while using the smartphone. As for gaming, PUBG Mobile defaulted to smooth graphics and medium frame rate. I could bump the graphics setting to balanced, but the HD option wasn't available. Playing at the higher settings, I saw occasional stutter, but the game ran well at the lower settings. If you play for longer durations, the back of the phone does get warm to the touch. On the software front, you get stock Android 10. The Android One program means that the Nokia 5.3 does not have any pre-installed bloatware, and the UI is very similar to what you'll find on Google Pixel smartphones. Gesture navigation is enabled by default, but you do get the option to switch back to the traditional 3-button navigation layout. HMD Global has packed a 4000 mAh battery in the Nokia 5.3 and managed to limit the device thickness to 8.5 mm. As a result, the Nokia 5.3 does not feel very bulky in the hand. You will still be able to get a day's worth of battery life out of it, but you will need to charge it the next day. In our HD video loop test, the Nokia 5.3 managed 11 hours and 50 minutes, which is decent given the battery size. You get a 10-watt charger in the box, so charging isn't very fast by today's standards. It got the phone to 30% in half an hour and charging the phone completely took close to 2 hours. Moving on, at the back, the Nokia 5.3 has a quad camera setup in a ring-shaped module. This stands out as the competition either uses pill-shaped or squarish camera modules. There's a 13-megapixel primary camera sensor, an ultra-wide-angle camera, a macro camera, and a depth sensor. Shots taken in daylight lacked dynamic range and fine grain was visible in the output on zooming in. Pictures taken with the wide-angle camera were of a lower resolution and these too were grainy. Close-up shots were better with good details and a soft depth effect for the background. Portrait shots had a good edge detection and the camera app does let you set the level of blur before taking a shot. I found the macro camera to be strictly average and a subject needs to be well lit for shots to come out looking decent. Low light shots were below average and did not have a good detail. There was grain in the output here as well, which was visible on zooming in. A few photos also lacked sharpness. Switching on night mode improved brightness and sharpness, but photos were still grainy. There is a dewdrop notch at the top, which houses an 8-megapixel selfie camera. Selfies taken with the Nokia 5.3 were decent in daylight and it does give you the option to take portraits. In low light, there is a slight dip in quality, but it is somewhat acceptable. Video recording tops out at 4K for the primary camera and 1080p for the selfie camera. Footage shot with the Nokia 5.3 isn't stabilized at either resolution and ends up being shaky. Video quality is also not as good in low light. The Nokia 5.3 is aimed at the sub 15,000 rupee price segment, with the main attraction being stock Android and the promise of software updates. However, it isn't the strongest performer right now and will fall further behind as other companies launch newer models. camera performance isn't the best and hopefully some software tweaks can improve that. But if you are a heavy user and you play a lot of games, then you can look at powerful alternatives like the Realme 6i and the Redmi Note 9. So that was my full review of the Nokia 5.3. Now what do you think about the smartphone? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.